Alright guys, so we're working on the 2000 Blazer LT here, 4-wheel drive, 4-door. Had an issue here with the fill neck for the gas tank. As you can see, we got a big rust hole in it. Guys, I want to tell you, these things are pretty kind of complicated to take one of these filler necks out, because it's a real long one. You're going to have some, or at least I had some extremely hard time getting this up out of here, guys. The problem is, guys, right up in here, they got a bolt, 13 millimeter bolt going down that's holding this fill neck down to the frame rail here. And unless you can get in there to it, guys, you're going to have to, or at least what I did, I cut the hoses off right here, and then I took my two hoses down here at the tank, guys. Took those clamps loose there, and then guys, all I did was I just kept moving this back and forth until I broke that clamp. I broke that clamp up there that holds this that's bolted down. I haven't tried to get that bolt out yet, but once I get all this out of here, hopefully I can get that bolt out of there. If not, I'll figure you'll have to figure out another way of I don't think it'll move around on you once everything's in place. I guess worst case scenario would be to maybe take some tie straps or something and tie that if you can't get that bolt out of there. I haven't taken the bolt out yet, but I was unable to get to that bolt, and I tried several different ways. I used a little 1/4-inch ratchet with the 13 millimeter on there, and it's just wasn't quite fitting on there right. And then I used a little bitty short extension on the 13, and I was able to get on the nut up there, or the bolt up there, guys, but was unsuccessfully able to turn that bolt because it's rusted up in there. That bolt comes through right here, guys. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it's coming up through right there, and that's the bolt. You would have thought that GM would have come up with a better idea of bolting that piece down there. I guess they expected that you would never have to take one of these apart or something, because they should have went up through this way somehow, maybe with the bolt, or maybe put the bolt, have a bracket so your bolt's out here where you can get to it. Instead, they got it up there on top. You can't get to it. I mean, you can get to it, but if it's any kind of rust up in there, guys, you're going to have an extremely hard time getting that off there. And like I said, I just worked this back and forth until I ended up breaking it off. That bracket that goes from these two here, and then it's bolted down to the frame rail there, guys. So that was the best way I found to get that off of there. Cut those hoses and just start yanking on it until I broke out. Make sure you get this, you have to take your hoses loose there. And there's the other thing, guys. To get these hoses off, because this is a plastic tank, so you don't want to. I try to get these hoses off to save the hose, because I guess the hose is really extremely hard to find. I think maybe it's a dealer only item, but I did find a hose, a gasoline inlet hose through Napa. And the problem I got, the guy gave me the wrong size hose. I told him a 2-inch, and he ended up cutting me out a 2 1/4 inch. So now I'm going to have to go back to Napa. And these hoses are pretty expensive. They're $20 a foot at Napa. And so tomorrow I'm going to have to go back because he messed up. Gave me a 2 1/4 inch, and I need a 2-inch. You need a 2-inch pipe to put this back together, guys. And I may have to take it apart here because there's no room up in there, guys, to get your you got this here evaporator box here, and you got to go up through there. So I'm thinking I'll probably have to take it apart at that rubber piping, and then put this piece in. Goes here, and then hook this back up. Being able to get that up through that little hole there to go out to where you fill your gas up with there, guys. And like I said, I tried to get these off. I ended up having to cut it in 2 places here, so I ruined the hose. And so if you do one of these, guys, on these 4 doors, the 2 doors quite a bit easier because your gas tank sits right in here, and you got your fill. It's just a short fill. It goes up through here. These 4-door ones are quite a bit more difficult to do, guys, because you can see what you got here. I mean, you got all this here going clear back to the gas tank, which is up there, and makes it pretty difficult to change one of these out, guys. So be prepared to spend a few hours on doing that job, that's for sure. And like I said, that there bolt was a real pain. I mean, hopefully I can get that bolt out of there, and maybe I don't know if we'll put that back in there or not. I mean, kind of a stupid thing there, really, if you ask me. I don't understand why they did it like that. I guess they figure you would never have to change that or something. But for somebody that's got to change one, they got the bolt up there, and you can't get in there to it, guys. I mean, unless you, like I said, I did get in there with this, but I was unsuccessfully able to turn that bolt up there. So I thought I'd throw this video out there for some people that's going to tackle this job. Be prepared. It's not an easy job to do. You can see this one definitely had an issue when we was filling the gas up the other night in it. Notice there was some gas leaking down underneath there, and right there was my problem. Got a big old rust hole in it. And there's the new one, guys. And I think there's might be another. I didn't see very many videos out there on doing this job here, but I thought I'd make this short video here on what kind of problems you're going to run into. And like I said, that's a plastic tank on this one, so I didn't want to yank on that hoses up underneath there real hard because I was afraid of breaking the plastic tank where this fits down inside the, where this goes around the tank. So like I said, I ended up having to cut it. So I'm not sure, guys, if you can find those hoses. Are pretty hard to, I guess, kind of hard to find. None of your regular parts stores have that hose, that fill tank hose. Now your shorter vent hose, the the shorter vent hose, guys, you can use just a regular, like a radiator hose or something like that, and that's 5/8 inch. And I hope that guy gave me the right one here, which I think he did. But I think I'm going to have to get one. Yeah, see, that's a 5/8 there. So he got me the right one there, but that other one, he did not give me the right hose. He got me the wrong size. That's a 2 1/4. I need a 2 inch. I don't know if GM makes if you can go to the GM dealer. I think I did find on the internet that there was one, because this has a little bit of a slight bend to it, so not sure if this is gonna even work right or not. But from what I was reading on the internet, some other people were saying that the 2 inch, just go to Napa and get the 2 inch hose here. You gotta make sure it's one for gasoline, and you'll be able to fit it on there that way. But I don't know yet until I get the correct hose and get it back up in there. But that's what we got going on there, guys. So like I said, if you're going to tackle that job, you can might as well plan on a good day, you know, a good half day's worth of work, probably, maybe more, depends on what kind of trouble you run into. Because usually on these older vehicles, guys, especially up here in the northern states, you're going to run into rust issues, that's for sure. And that's exactly what happened on this one here. Rusted out right up there at the top. And not an easy job getting that bolt. See that bolt? That bolt, guys. Let's see. The bracket, yeah, right here. That bracket on the new one here, it looks like it slides in there. I don't know. I ain't got my old one out yet, but I don't know if that the old one's like this or not. Well, it's got this notch in it. But see, guys, the problem is it's trying to get a ratchet over top of this way, or getting it. I actually did get it over top of this on this way here, and like I said, I got my little 1/4 inch, but I just didn't have enough strength, or it's either rusted so bad that it's ended up rounding the top of the head off, or whatever it done there. I haven't got that out yet, but I'll figure some other way of strapping that down somehow. Like I said, I think once you got these mounted in, this is not going to be too big of an issue if you can't get that bolt back on there. But anyways, guys, I thought I'd throw that out there for somebody that's going to tackle this job on a 4-door, on a 2000 Blazer. Pickup truck, I'm not sure if pickup truck's same or not. Pickup truck may be a little easier to do, I don't know on those. But this one here is a 4-door 2000, so definitely a lot more difficult than the 2-doors to take one of those gas fillers out of there, guys. So just be prepared. I wanted to put that video out there for some people thinking about trying that. Like I said, I only seen one other video out there on YouTube. A guy was doing a 4-door, and he had the same issue. It looked like he didn't really show in detail on that bolt. It looked like he ended up breaking his, cutting his in two or whatever. And you want to be careful of what you're using to cut any metal parts on that. That's why I just cut the rubber, because you are working with gasoline there, guys, so you don't want to use a grinder or something like that and try to cut your metal off. That could become a big problem there, so you want to be careful doing it. And it can be done, guys, but it's not an easy job there to do, guys. So anyways, I may put another video out on once I get this back together, and then I will let you know also if that Napa hose is going to work, or if I'm going to have to go and order a hose that goes from that fill neck there to the gas tank, and it looks like it's about a foot over there to it. So that's what we ended up getting, was a foot. But I don't think this one, I think actually this one here is going to be a little bit too short. It looked like the vent tube hose was maybe a little bit longer, but I think a foot on the fill hose here is going to be just about right for that. So, but anyways, like I said, I may put another video out there on once I do get this back together, and let you guys know that which way I went on that hose. Because like I said, guys, you're probably going to have to cut that. You probably have to cut your hose down there at the tank. I worked on trying to get that hose off there, and I was afraid I was going to break that plastic piece coming up out of the tank there, because that's all plastic there, guys. You want to be careful you don't bust that, because if you break that, then you're going to have to buy a new gas tank too. So like I said, I ended up cutting the hose to get it off of the gas tank there, both the 5/8 and the 2-inch hose, to get that so I can get that piece up out of there. So alrighty, guys, that'll wrap this one up. Hopefully I can get this back together here maybe tomorrow or something, and I'll let you guys know if there's any other issues on getting this back, and I'll maybe make another video on what you're going to have to use there for your hose that goes from your filler neck over to your gas tank, guys. So alrighty, I guess that'll conclude this video on that.